Actresses and models often have a negative effect on the women who see them. Even the dolls young girls play with can contribute to low self-esteem. One Athens area photographer is using a famous doll to improve female body image. Her exhibit is called Barbie Falls on Hard Times. Right now we're joined by Carrie Gunter Seymour, who joins us in our studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
So you have a couple of events coming up on Friday. What do you hope people learn from seeing your exhibit?
I don't know if I want them to learn anything, but I want them to have, first of all, a really great time. I want them to be able to laugh and to realize that even the most perfect woman in the world who my generation doted on Barbie can fall on really hard times. And we don't have to be perfect like that, because she's not.
All right, well, let's take a look at a few of the photographs that you've helped us, that you've provided us. Explain what was your thinking behind this one.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I want to do good photography, so I think about light and I think about perspective, but I also try to create these environments that seem real. So Barbie's sitting in these real life environments, and in this particular one, I think she's woken up to, really freaking out, you know? So maybe she's got premenstrual syndrome or something like that.
All right, let's take a look at the next one.
I think this is the ultimate Barbie got dumped. She's been thrown in the trash man, out with the breakfast food, and the worst thing is she doesn't even get to have her pretty clothes on. She's like buck naked. So ultimate dumping there.
All right, let's take a look at another one.
This is one of my favorites. I call this one, I usually don't title them, but this one's called God Save the Queen. And really what it does represent is we all get into situations where we do things we know we shouldn't. Barbie's had a little bit too much to drink here. But she's also trying to preserve her dignity, because look at her holding on to that tiara, man. That is all about her dignity.
All right, and we have one more.
Right. Oh, well, the kitchen. We all struggle with the kitchen, and poor Barbie, look at that. She's in tears because she's, trying to make cookies, and there she is. Look what's happened. Out of control.
What made you decide to use Barbie versus other symbols that we have in our society? I
grew up with Barbie. Barbie and I are about the same age. Barbie's about to have a birthday. And I realized I was kind of a chubby kid, an adolescent and a teen, and I realized only as I got older that that sort of representation of women was really difficult for me and lots of other women, especially of my generation. And we did a lot of binge dieting and all these crazy things to try to look like Barbie. And I'm short. I'm never going to look like Barbie. So I thought this was a really good way to kind of have a silent, or not a silent, but a low-key protest directed at what our culture puts on women. And I know we've done this to death and we've heard it, but you know what? We're not doing anything about it. It's still here. We're still making women feel like they're ugly because they are actually adequate weight and adequate height.
All right. Well, you have, like I said, a few events coming up on Friday. You have a reception and a poetry reading. They will begin at 4 p.m. In the Women's Center in Baker University Center.
Yep, that's fourth floor.
Yep, Miss Gunter Seymour, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, and for having Barbie too.